Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me today for another episode of Gold Wingnut Live. Each week I answer your questions about things happening in Sumter County and the villages. These weekly broadcasts and the construction update videos I produce are two of the ways I bring information to you about the construction happenings here in the villages. At Gold Wingnut Productions, I also provide a photo video service for new homes under construction. If you're building a new home in the villages and you need someone to watch the construction for you and send you regular updates, then contact me through my website, goldwingnut.com, and arrange for a photo video package for your new home. I've nearly 20 years in the construction industry as a project manager, and in the last 6 years, Gold Wingnut Productions has provided this valuable service to over 300 homeowners. I know the work the various trades are doing, and I know when the work's being done right and when it's not. I'm not just taking pictures like some others do. I'm watching your home build with a trained eye to help ensure everything is done right. So go to goldwingnut.com and arrange your package today. Now let's get started with the show.
Ever notice how humans always ask why we follow them everywhere? Like it's some mystery, when really, we just don't know how not to.
Yeah, they'll never know it's not obedience, it's gravity. Their heart just pulls us in every time.
Exactly, Frenchie.
Yeah.
Like even when they're sad, we feel it. The air gets heavier, the room gets quieter, and somehow we just know they need us closer.
I've literally watched my dad cry when nobody else is around. So I just sit on his feet to make him know that I'm there and that I don't judge.
They call it loyalty, but for us, it's love. Plain and simple, no questions asked. I'd trade my heartbeat if it meant my moms could stay steady.
Same here. But you know what breaks me, Goldie? When they say, he's just a dog. Ah, Frenchie, man, that one hits me right here.
They'll never see it the way we do. To us, they're not just people, they're everything.
Facts, Goldie. I think love like ours doesn't really stop. Even when we're gone, it just finds another way to stay, man.
So if you're listening right now and your dog won't leave your side, don't move them away. Don't tell them to lie down. They already are, right beside your heart.
Sorry I'm late, fellas. I was over there talking to Blister. Time got away from me.
Blister?
Yeah, we call him Blister because he only ever shows up after all the hard work's done.
Okay, well that kind of goes together, but the rest of these don't make sense, guys. The job site nicknames have got to stop, okay? Like, really, half of these don't make any sense at all. Hey, whoa now, hey, these may be a bunch of idiots here, but I'll tell you what, they take pride in nicknames, okay? So I guarantee everyone on that list makes sense. Okay, motion light. Only time it works is when somebody's walking by. Two-stroke.
Oh, that's one of mine right there. Two-stroke, hard to get started, and all he does is smoke all day.
007.
Zero work ethic, zero skill, and 7 breaks at minimum a day.
All right, here's one. Betty Crocker.
Well, that'd actually be one of mine right there. Betty Crocker, somebody who's always stirring the pot.
Yeah, that is a pretty good one. Nail clipper. Hard to find when you need them and probably going to only do about 10 minutes of work a month. All right, flash round. Lantern.
Not very bright, and you gotta carry him the whole time you're using them.
Fingers.
Call them fingers because he ain't never gonna be no hand.
Okay, what about toes?
That's actually more of an insult than it is a description of somebody, because toes is gonna be about the farthest thing from a hand you can get. Because they ain't got no chance making it here.
Speed bump. All is good for slowing us down. Deck chair. Folds easily under pressure. Kit Kat.
Always needs a break.
Okay, just a couple more. Cordless.
Cordless only works for about 45 minutes. Then you gotta let them rest for 2 hours to maybe get another 45 minutes out of them. And if they get too hot, they're just gonna stop working altogether.
Okay, this next section's a little bit more adult-oriented ones that were brought up a lot. G-spot?
That's actually Jim and Shipping's nickname. Go look for him right now. I guarantee you can't find him. He's over there, but you ain't gonna find him. You know what area he's in, but that don't mean you can't find him. That's what we call him that.
Okay, and foreskin.
Well, that's actually what I call Ricky, because as soon as the job starts getting hard, that boy gonna disappear.
What? When did you start calling me that? I thought people called me Houdini, because I always disappeared when we started working.
No, we call the boss man Houdini, because every time there is work to be done, he disappears.
Hey, I don't appreciate that either, okay? This is getting out of hand, guys. We need to wrap this up.
No, we ain't wrapping this up, okay? Boss man, is that what you've been calling me too?
No, Ricky, I call you Zeus.
Because I'm like a Greek god, smart, powerful, and I got a ton of kids?
No, not even close. It stands for zero effort unless supervised.
Hey guys, well, what's my nickname? Yours is dumbass.
Oh, well, Well, what's that stand for?
Yours doesn't have a hidden meaning. And me having to explain this to you further solidifies your nickname.
Yeah. He's right, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. I mean, I'm sure we could go for days. This is only the first page of like 37 I have. But before we move on to the next subject, what is it? What is my nickname?
Oh, well, we actually call you the Broken Arrow because we all think you're useless, and every time we ask somebody, they tell us you can't be fired. So, Broken Arrow.
If you could be 20 again, what would you do differently?
Probably listen to my dad.
What did he say?
I don't know. I didn't listen.
Why didn't you save your wife?
How was I supposed to know she was drowning? She was just screaming like always.
I love you so much, I don't know how I could live without you.
Is that you or the beer talking?
It's me, talking to the beer.
I'm not saying I'm old, but my dinner time and bedtime are getting dangerously close.
I hear what you're saying, man.
I finally got the rest of the Thanksgiving videos. Check this out.
Let's go. All right, here we go. Wait, what the? Oh, it's moving. Oh my God.
A good wife will always be with you during bad times. Mainly just to remind you that you should have listened to her to begin with.
I asked my favorite sheriff for a nice Christmas message, and this is what he said. Roll the clip.
And I don't want to hear your whine and your complaining and your belly aching and all of that nonsense. If you don't steal, we're your new best friends. If you steal, we're your worst enemy. Merry Christmas.
Got called into HR today because apparently telling your coworker that you knew he was a C-section baby by the way he avoids labor is not acceptable.
Took my wife out last night. She said, "Don't you pray before eating?" I said, "At home, yeah. Here the chef knows how to cook." My wife says drinking doesn't solve problems.
Yeah.
I said, "Then why is it called a beer can and not a beer cannot?"
Funny how drinking 8 cups of water a day seems like it's impossible. But 8 beers and 6 shots in 3 hours goes down like a fat kid on a seesaw.
You know the difference between McDonald's and my job? McDonald's only has one clown running things, and my workplace has a whole squad.
My wife complained that my life revolving around Facebook has destroyed the way we communicate as a family. So I blocked her.
Here's a great home that's on the market. It's at 3753 Coin Loop in the village of Hammock at Finney, right next to the Red Fox and Gray Fox golf courses. It's just a short drive to Magnolia Plaza, or if you really need to get there, it's just a short drive up US 301 to get to the Florida Turnpike. This home is a gardenia. It's one of the more popular floor plans here in the villages. It's almost 2,000 square feet, and it sits on a 2.5-acre pond. And the lot is big enough to have a pool if you want. It's got a stretched 2-car garage and golf cart garage with epoxy floors. With beautiful 12 by 24 tile flooring throughout the house and 42-inch cabinets in the kitchen. There's a breakfast nook in the front of the house, and at the back of the house, a beautiful, huge, oversized lanai. It's nearly 28 by 17 feet, and it has a finished epoxy floor also. This house isn't move-in ready. It's move-in ready and enjoy the village lifestyle today. It's got most of the upgrades done to it that most people do. It's got beautiful landscaping. It's got the epoxy finished garage and lanai and front sidewalk, custom closets. It's a split floor plan, so you have your privacy, and if you have guests or family coming to stay a day or two, they're in a separate part of the house. And going out to that lanai, it has stacked sliding glass doors. Now, what's a stacked sliding glass door? That means that the doors go all the way open. So instead of just having 1 or 2 panels go open, all 4 come open, and you have a wide entrance into the lanai, which really helps bring the whole house together. This beautiful home truly is the quintessential Florida retirement home. If you're interested in seeing it, contact Star and ask for your personal showing. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Gold Wingnut Live. I'm your host, Don Wiley, and we're going to talk about the things you want to talk about. Let's see. We got a few things coming through the screen already. Let's see. What do we got here? Everybody's saying Happy New Year. And yeah, it is the new year. I can't believe it. I'm still trying to catch up with March and April, and it's just been... Oh, it's been a blistering fast year for me. So many things going on. So let's see. Today's show sponsor is, of course, Shade Masters. If you're looking for shades or blinds, pretty much of any kind for your house, your lanai, your what do they call it, garage door, give the folks over at Shade Masters a call. Of course, we have Surf to Turf, home inspections. Remember, if you need a home inspection, call early. Give them time to get you on the schedule, because these guys are all packed. All these home inspectors are. Kitchen-wise, closet-wise, great folks. Same with Grout Medic. Same people running both companies, but two separate lines of business. And of course, Magic Stairs. You know, I was over at the house yesterday putting stuff away. I used to be sold on Magic Stairs. Now, flat out, I am absolutely ecstatic with them. Trying to get all the Christmas stuff up in the attic was always such a pain. I put it on the lift, up it went up the stairs, started it. It took all the work out of it. But, yeah, so, you know, obviously some good products. Got some other advertisers on here. Somehow that Christmas dinner fund shouldn't be on there. I thought I got it out. Oh well. Anyway, moving on. Let's jump to see what everybody else has got here. It's been several weeks. Okay, so Middleton Sodfather wants to know about the video. So let's do this. I'm going to talk, and we're going to let the video play in the background on the screen. It was supposed to come out a couple of days ago. When I uploaded it to YouTube and I test played it, and I had this high-pitched screeching sound in the background of the audio. I could not figure it out, and it was in all of the audio files all of a sudden. I don't know why. So I have been having to redo the audio take on it, but it was done. It's been done for several days. I'm just redoing the audio. Hopefully I'll get it done tonight. But you guys can watch the video. If you have specific questions about what you're seeing, feel free to ask. Let's see. More Happy New Year's. And Tammy wants to know, Don, any idea what they are doing with the roundabout on Marsh Bend and McNeil? The Well Point entrance. Looks like they took out all the big palm trees and some of the landscaping there they had there. You know, that's a great question, because I saw the same thing at Bar Boulevard and Landstone. I saw it at Landstone and Central Parkway. I saw it at Dr. McDaniel and Landstone. For whatever reason, they've taken out a whole bunch of trees on these roundabouts, and I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, it's not one or two. It is, you know, at least 5 roundabouts that I've seen in the southern part of the village that they're doing this. I think maybe they had a problem. I don't know. You know, the one at Bar and Landstone. Landstone is the road that goes by the football stadium, if you don't know. That one, when the hurricane came through last year, year before last, because we're in 26. In 24, when the hurricane came through, that tree took, the trees in there took some serious damage. But they looked like they were recovering. And, you know, I don't know what the heck is going on. I've been wondering that myself. I was going to actually reach out to some friends of mine at the district government and ask them what's going on, but I just as soon let them have their weekend and not be bothered by me. But, all right. Craig is in Spokane Valley, Washington. Wow. I'm sure it's quite cold up there. Oh my gosh. I've talked to a bunch of people this past week. I had lunch with Victoria and her husband. Victoria's, there she is. Right there at 3:03 p.m. Victoria chimed in. We had a great lunch. Ran into a bunch of other people throughout the course of the week, chatted with them. But it wasn't a great week for me. Let's finish going through the comments. I'll talk about that. Let's see. Dave wants to know, how do the multimodal tunnels drain stormwater? The tunnels appear to be below the stormwater drainage pipes. So actually, it's done two ways. One, many of the tunnels, like the one over by the new golf cart store, was built at grade, and the road rises up and goes over it. And that they just gravity drain into the stormwater system. Otherwise, they use what's called a lift station. What a lift station is, there's two different types. There's a stormwater and there's a sanitary lift station. And what they are, they're just pumps that take water from a low point and bring it up to a higher level of the storm drains. And frequently they'll have those at the multimodal tunnels. The one I know that they've had problems with in the past is up at 466 and Morse Boulevard. One of the tunnels there, when, what was it, Irma? Yeah, Irma. The pump failed, and it was blocked off for a couple of weeks. So that's how they do it, though. It's either a lift pump or a lift station pump, or it's just gravity drain. If it's a sanitary station, then they normally have a grinding pump or a grinder pump, which grinds up things. And as I'll leave the rest up to your imagination. Oh my gosh! If you want to know where those are at, drive around. The nearest one I can think of that I know of off the top of my head because I walk past it when I walk my dogs is right on the, what was that? The green of the 7th hole of Shallow Creek, okay? And it's right there on Sunderman, just before you hang a left onto McMurtry. That's a lift station, and you'll see them all over the villages, just because it's a big community and they got to have them. Let's see. Middleton Sodfather says, when do you estimate they may release lots for sale around Huckleberry Executive Course? So I'll be honest with you, I'm thinking, just looking at how things are progressing, where things sit with the various lots, I'm going on the assumption that Lakeview will be coming on the market probably towards the end of the month. Okay, Lakeview is the area just south of Central Lake, and it's kind of triangular shape, so it's between Central Lake and the Bel Air Executive Course, and of course the entrance into it is right there by the starter shack for the Bel Air Executive Course. So that should be the end of this month. I'm thinking probably March time frame for that area. And somewhere in the sun wants to know, no, what they're taking out is not palms. It's actually the oak trees, yes. Let's see. Drawing and video pictures. Okay. Thanks, Bob. Bob is getting pictures from, I'll get it out in a second. He's one of my customers, okay, for my photo video service, and you know, we're taking pictures for him. Molly is his dog. she's a little black lab. Seen him very frequently at the dog park. But anyway, so we're caught up on that. I want to tell you, it's been a challenging and pretty heart-wrenching week for me. New Year's Eve was great. I went over to some of the neighbors' house. We had a few drinks and we had lots to eat and had a good time. The next morning, Sully didn't look so good. He was just a little lethargic, but I didn't think much of it. Friday morning, though, looked out on the lanai, and he had thrown up 5 times. Not good. And so I ended up taking him down to Jumper Creek Vet down in Bushnell. That's the vet he's been going to for the last 2.5 years. It's where his son lives. Lily and Sully's son, Gus, lives there. But anyway, he was sick. He had colitis. I guess it's an inflamed lower intestine and bowel. The doctor really couldn't figure out what was going on. So he's got he put him on some heavy medication to help clear him up. He's doing much better. Yesterday morning I walked in the house and I was greeted to my happy puppy, but it really drove home, how much my dogs do mean to me. If you don't know me, I'm a huge dog lover. If you notice up here, you'll see 2 in the upper right-hand corner above the video playing is a bunch of charities that I support through my channels. Joshua's house is the latest one I just added. I did that this week. Last week we added in the Golden Retriever Rescue of Mid-Florida. But my dogs mean the world to me. And next week's show, I need your help. I'm trying to put together a video. And that video will play just like this one is right now. But what I want, if you can, if you feel like it, send me a picture of you and your dog, or your cat, or whatever pet you have. Let me know your name, your dog's name, how old the dog or cat is, if they've passed on. My condolences. Let me know that. If they were a rescue, let me know that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together all these pictures, and you can send me a short video clip also of my viewers with their pets, and we'll play it in the background throughout the course of the show. So hopefully we'll have a whole hour's worth of pictures and videos. I know for a great many of us here in the villages, our dogs and cats and other pets mean the world to us. Part of what's driving this is next week's show. Pardon me while I try and maintain my composure. Next week will be 12 years since I lost Bo. Bo was my first golden retriever. And his passing really had an impact on me. And, losing 2 more since then has really had a profound impact on the way I think of a lot of things. And I know with talking to my friends and the other people I know at the dog parks, they feel many of the same emotions. So I just want to share that with everybody. And I think it'd be a great outpouring. There's some other things I'm working on that are pet related for next week. I got to call into the folks at Joshua's house about a specific issue, and if I can get that to work, I'll let you guys know what it is. But again, you can send them to me either via text message. My phone number is always, well, it's not on the screen right now. When we change out of the video, it'll be on the screen. You can send it to live@goldwingnut.com, or info@goldwingnut.com, or Dawn.encarnacion.com, or you can text it to me. All right. But yeah, Sully is doing much better, and for whatever reason, he's laying in here with me today, which is kind of unusual. All right, we had a bunch of things come in. Let's see what we had here. Hello, Craig, Victoria, and everyone else. We may have seen it here in the past. Okay, that was Craig the Sailor. All right. Rock Cop Aviation. Hi, Don. Wondering how the district meetings are run. Specifically, District 15 has one coming up at Olympia next week. Several abutters of the dried up Well Point Pond want to discuss. Okay, good question. So yes, at Olympia they're doing the CDD 15 meeting. In fact, I was talking this morning to a friend of mine, Dave, who works at Olympia, and he works for the rec department, and he was talking about having to set up for the meetings. So there is a point in the meeting for public forum where you can ask your questions. How the board response to those is, that's up to the board. I will tell you that I addressed the CDD 15 board about a year and a half ago, and I didn't even get an acknowledgement to my comments, and that kind of irritated me. That's not something that, as a county commissioner, that I agree with. That's why, I after that incident and another incident at a school board meeting where my comments were ignored and so were the comments of some parents, I talked to the county administrator and I said, every comment that somebody comes in and makes at a county commission meeting, we are going to address. We will either address it or acknowledge it, depending on what's appropriate. Because it's important that, people understand, we heard you. We understand that you have questions, you have concerns, and we want to at least acknowledge that sometimes we can't take action on it, but we want you to know that you're heard, and we work from there afterwards to work through issues. All right. So yeah, I will tell you that there's not much the district board's going to do. They're going to defer to district property management, who's responsible for that maintenance of those ponds. Read your deed restrictions. There's no guarantee that there will be water in those ponds, but they do try and keep them full, obviously. I drove by there yesterday, day before. One of those, I don't know, it's all a blur. Anyway, and some of the ponds were definitely low. Maybe they're a little higher now because we got some rain the last couple of days. All right. Yeah. So he definitely scared me. I got to the vet early, about 10 minutes before they opened up, and he was sitting in the back seat. He had just hurled in the back seat of my new truck. But anyway, I got in the back seat with him. I sat there, and he put his head on my lap, and I just tried to comfort him. All right. Let's see. Yeah, but he's doing better. He's doing better. So okay. Craig says our pets are our kids. We understand quite well. We lost Abigail 2 years ago. She was an amazing cat. I still get worked up when I think about it. If you've heard me talk on this show, you can tell I'm getting a little tied up a little bit on that. So when it comes to my dogs, they mean the world to me. Let's see. Nadine says, I know how you feel. So sorry I lost both my pups in 2025. Nadine, my heart goes out to you. I understand how it goes. With my two previous Goldens, Sadie and Jesse, I lost Sadie right before Christmas, and then I lost her son July 27th of the following year. And yeah, that was pretty tough. I had, anyway, I got to maintain my composure. Let's see. Middleton Sodfather, what will be the name of the championship golf course between Bush and McNeil directly east of Beautyberry and Honeysuckle executive courses? Championship course between Bush. Oh, okay. It's actually north of Beautyberry and Honeysuckle. That will be the Meadows Golf Course. That's a 27-hole championship course. Mark Ryan says, what is the Bison Prairie House yellow building at the corner of Buena Vista and Bonita Boulevard used for? It is actually a old schoolhouse. You know, I asked Roy Robertson, my realtor, when we bought here 12 years ago, about that, and apparently it was part of the agreement to sell a certain piece of land that they had to preserve that old schoolhouse, and they were allowed to move it, so that's where they moved it to. But part of the agreement for the sale was it was supposed to be preserved. All right. Let's see. Greg said Saturday morning traffic on Morse turning left onto 404, backed up almost to the fire station. Going to be crazy the next 3 months. Yeah, I mean, traffic is heavier. And, you know, but it's that way throughout all of Florida. This is not a Villages issue. This is not a Sumter County issue. This is a statewide issue. The influx of people has been huge the last decade, and it is so challenging to get caught up. You know, hopefully we'll be able to do something with that intersection, or we just got to get the money to pay for it. Let's see. The Riddler 2 says we must support President Trump and Venezuela. I would agree. You know, it was some pretty decisive actions taken. It's funny how all of a sudden a certain political party is screaming about Trump being a dictator when that's exactly what he took out of the picture, was a dictator. We still got to deal with the existing government in Venezuela, the rest of the government, because now they're saying they still are supporting whatever the name of the president that was apprehended. All right. Let's see. This is Gary W. He says, Happy New Year, Dawn. From me and my pups, I spoke with you for about 90 minutes or so when your wife thought you'd be home in a few. when you picked up the Air 2S. Okay, thanks, Gary. Yeah, I got a little bit in my ear about that one. Anyway, let's see. What a shame to remove live oaks that are such a part of the Villages, bring much appeal and charm. So many more gone during development. So somewhere in the sun. So those trees were all planted. Okay, so they were transplanted. Why they didn't take is beyond me. It doesn't. Looking at the root ball didn't look healthy. That was sitting on the side of the road. I will tell you that the Villages has an arborist on staff, and before they go into an area, they survey every tree on the property over a certain size, and they mark all the ones that they can save. Their goal is to save as many as possible. You know, obviously the trees are gorgeous. Now, you know, when you look at where they're building right now, you know, the Eden Field, LaGrange and all that area, there wasn't a whole lot there. There really wasn't. Now, where Oak Hollow is, there was a grove of trees there that was cleared. My understanding was that there was some infestation, some disease issues with many of the trees there, and it just didn't make sense to maintain them, just because of you know, the chance of it spreading. Would love to see aerial video of what happens when the Earth moving all the way down to State Road 48. Any possibility of that in the future? So here's my issue. That's a great question. He wants to know about going all the way down to 48. 48 is the road that comes out of Center Hill, and sorry, I've got the game on above my head on the TV, and Jacksonville is winning 34-7 over Tennessee. A victory that is very sweet considering the past history of these two teams, but we're keeping our fingers crossed with Jacksonville. Anyway, I am limited to what I can see. So I have to be able to stand someplace legally and see it, okay, at ground level. And then I can put the drone up. And then there's no expectation of privacy. Therein always lies the challenges. You know, fortunately my eyesight's pretty good even with my glasses on. You know, but going all the way down to 48, that is several miles. I can't fly that far because I'm limited by line of sight on the aircraft. I have to maintain line of sight on the aircraft. Depending on the aircraft, that's anywhere from typically 3,000 to 3,500 feet. This newest one is about 3,700 feet because it's a little bit bigger. But I don't like to go that far because it is too hard to keep track of. And if I use one of my Phantoms, I can go a full mile. But you know, when you're talking several miles going down south, there's a lot. They are doing some clearing at the far south end. We can pull up a map in a little while, and I'll show you where that's at, that they're doing some of the clearing. But that's all the way at the south end. So, yeah. You know, they also own some land on the south side of 48. It's part of the old Renaissance Trail development that they started doing some clearing on, and they've stopped. You know, part of the clearing process, my understanding is the developer owns Rainey Construction, which is the heavy equipment company that does most of the clearing, and you know, keeping people employed is important to them, keeping things staffed. So stopping and starting, you know, if they just waited, you know, if they just they're done with the mass grading on CDD 16, okay? If they just dropped everything and stopped for a year, it's hard to get those people back. So they keep moving farther and farther south and doing clearing on the land. You know, if they do some now, then when it comes time to actually start the development process, they're better equipped and they can progress much quicker with the partially cleared land and getting it ready for homes. So, but we keep a close eye on that. Eb says, my wife and I raised 12 puppies for Canine Champions. It was a great organization that gives service dogs for free to people with disabilities. We had 6 graduate. That is awesome, Ab. You know, these dogs that work as service dogs are phenomenal creatures. They're so intelligent. One of the last litter of Sully and Lily works as a service dog now. A young lady down in Orlando bought him and has been training him for the last year. And my understanding is he's doing very well. All right. Craig says, Nikki, our 12-year-old Dobie, is getting up in the years, well beyond a Dobie's life expectancy. We recently brought a Bernedoodle puppy into the home, and Nikki absolutely loves her. It's awesome for both. You know, for an older dog, a puppy really, really brings life back to him. You know, I talked a little while ago about my dog, Bo. He was, oh my gosh, I want to say he was about 6 years old when we got Sadie. And wow, what an amazing time it was. He wasn't that old, but he was very sedate, he was very mellow, but he really came to life with Sadie, our golden retriever. And they had many years of happy times together. It was sad when we lost him. Maybe I'll touch on what happened with him and Sadie and Jesse next week. But yeah, and a Bernedoodle. To me, I see a Bernese Mountain Dog, and they're so absolutely adorable. Oh my gosh! All right. Let's see. I've heard from a few folks that chairs won't be provided in Eastport for live entertainment. Do you know if this is true or just a temporary until it opens 24/7? It doesn't really open 24/7, but every week. I've heard the same thing, and part of that stems partially from the what do you call it? The entertainment package or schedule that they've come up with. I actually touched on that in the video. I think after some more businesses come into Eastport, that they will transition to the standard format of live music every night. It's what works. It's what people want. Karaoke and a magician and whatever. That's not what people want. And honestly, Eastport is so well adapted to it. Now, will they have chairs? I don't know. It would stand to reason that they probably will. I don't know where they'll store them, but we're just going to have to play it by ear. Let's see. Jim says, Dawn, have you ever lost signal or control of your drone and had it returned and land autonomously? I've only lost signal one time, and it was an ID10T error. If you don't know what an ID10T error is, I will type it on the keyboard, and you'll know what it means as soon as you read it. I turned off my remote when the drone was in the air, and then I couldn't figure out why I couldn't control it. I hit the wrong button, but it came back and it landed. And that particular that function on the DJI drones works absolutely phenomenally. All right. Let's see. All right. Where are we at here? Okay. Let's see. Riddler wants to know where Muskie got her car wrapped. Yeah. If you haven't seen Muskie's car, she's a very big President Trump supporter. It's really great. She gets lots of positive feedback on it. Got to go on that note. Okay. Thank you, American Troy. Let's see. Middleton Sodfather says we're going to do this comment, then we're going to take a quick break. Why is the business reason for developer buying land using multiple companies with different names rather than just one name identifiable with the villages? Disney did the same thing back in the 60s when they were buying up land in Lake Buena Vista. Part of it is people get greedy, okay? And as soon as they know somebody's going to be buying up land that might have deep pockets, then they try and raise the price. So sometimes it's better to just be as anonymous as possible. It doesn't take a whole lot, though, to track down who it is. There's a website called Corporation Wiki, or is it Wiki Corporation Wiki, and you can punch in an address, you can punch in a company name. It's pretty an amazing website. I've learned a whole lot, it's really just to not tip your hat on too much on what's going on. Most people don't. What's the word I want to use? Many people aren't bright enough to try and look up to see who really owns the company. I'll leave it at that. So it's one way to hide things. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back. Thanks for sticking with today's broadcast of Gold Wingnut Live. Pardon me for just a minute while I go grab a fresh cup of coffee and stretch my legs and back. While you're waiting, let me ask you a quick question. Are you building a new home in the Villages and need someone with a trained eye to watch the construction for you and send you regular updates? Then contact me through my website, Dawn.encarnacion, and arrange for a photo video package of your new home. I've nearly 20 years experience as a construction project manager, and I've been offering this valuable service to residents for over 6 years. I know the work the various trades are doing, and I know when the work is being done right and when it's not. Fortunately, serious issues are rare, but even the most minor issues are better caught during construction than during closing. I'm not just taking pictures of your home like others do. I'm watching your home being built with a trained eye to ensure everything is done right. So go to goldwingnut.com and arrange for your package today. Now let's get back to the broadcast.
Pull up that clip. Homie, you launched out that water like the deer owed you lunch money.
Look, man, I saw legs and flavor. My brain said protein, not wall art.
That was Home Depot plywood wearing a Halloween costume.
Don't disrespect me, homie. The reflection had confidence and I reacted with violence.
You tackled a JPEG with commitment. NFL scouts just texted me. Why is he dumb?
Listen, I live in a swamp. Everything is real until proven otherwise by pain.
You bit that board so hard the paint filed a restraining order.
At least I commit. You sniff food labels like they're legal documents.
True, but I've never lost a fight to a printed deer.
Bro, that deer looked hydrated and judgmental. Had to humble it.
America watching this like, yeah, that's Florida behavior. Florida is a lifestyle, not a warning label. Final question, would you do it again? If that deer blinks, I'm crashing the frame again.
Here's a great home that's on the market. It's at 3753 Coin Loop in the village of Hammock at Finney, right next to the Red Fox and Gray Fox golf courses. It's just a short drive to Magnolia Plaza, or if you really need to get there, it's just a short drive up US 301 to get to the Florida Turnpike. This home is a gardenia. It's one of the more popular floor plans here in the Villages. It's almost 2,000 square feet, and it sits on a 2.5-acre pond. And the lot is big enough to have a pool if you want. It's got a stretched 2-car garage and golf cart garage with epoxy floors. With beautiful 12 by 24 tile flooring throughout the house and 42-inch cabinets in the kitchen. There's a breakfast nook in the front of the house, and at the back of the house, a beautiful, huge, oversized lanai. It's nearly 28 by 17 feet, and it has a finished epoxy floor also. This house isn't move-in ready. It's move-in ready and enjoy the village lifestyle today. It's got most of the upgrades done to it that most people do. It's got beautiful landscaping. It's got the epoxy finished garage and lanai and front sidewalk, custom closets. It's a split floor plan, so you have your privacy, and if you have guests or family coming to stay a day or two, they're in a separate part of the house. And going out to that lanai, it has stacked sliding glass doors. Now, what's a stacked sliding glass door? That means that the doors go all the way open. So instead of just having 1 or 2 panels go open, all 4 come open, and you have a wide entrance into the lanai, which really helps bring the whole house together. This beautiful home truly is the quintessential Florida retirement home. If you're interested in seeing it, contact Star and ask for your personal showing. Okay, well, I don't know what happened at that, but there we go. All right, I got a macro that runs that shifts through all these things, but for whatever reason it stalled on that. Maybe I got the time wrong or something. I don't know. Anyway, we had some questions right before the break, and some other things came up. Let's see. So VSFY 2023 says, Dawn, I believe you use DJI drones. Exclusively, I do. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think 9 or 10 of them right now are all DJI drones. And he wants to know, whoops, lost it here. I heard the U.S. has applied a future ban on new ones. So, yeah, politics is what it is. protectionism is a failed policy, but anyway, what's happened is the FCC has put them on a selected, basically, no new foreign-made drone or drone parts can be imported into this country as of this year. You know, so that's not just Chinese-made. That would be Malaysian. That would be French, British, whatever. If it's not American-made, you can't bring it into this country. Is what they're doing. They're saying it's to protect the American technology. You know what? It's bull. Okay. The American drone market, or the American manufactured drones, are quite simply not as good as the DJI drones or the Autel drones, which are the two main players in the field. And the technology just isn't there, and they're twice as expensive. The technology is 5 years behind for the American-made drones. It's 5 years behind what is available from the Chinese-made drones. If somebody comes out with one that's as good and is comparably priced, I will buy one in a heartbeat. Okay, my business model demands I have good quality equipment. Right now, that equipment is DJI. That's why I invested in the new one I just got. It's a Mavic 4 Pro, and because I was afraid it was, come December 23rd, I wasn't going to be able to get any more. All right. So, yeah, but anything new, not coming in. So any new models that are released this year can't come in. But if they were released last year before the ban, then they can still be brought into the country, provided they can get past customs. All right. Are you aware, okay, this is from To Somewhere in the Sun. Are you aware of any public information regarding the widening of I-75 and if there will be any new exits in Sumter County? So the widening is going on between the Turnpike and County Road 200 in Ocala. They're adding a lane in each direction. That's being done by the state. The information is available on the state's website. Don't ask me which one because I don't remember off the top of my head. But that is available. New exits, currently none are planned for Sumter County. Let's see. I love some of these names, but Middleton Sodfather. I'm assuming you live in Middleton and you own a landscaping business based on the name. All right. Do you plan on running for public office again, or will this term be the last of your political public service? It won't be the last. Right now, I do intend to run again, and there's many reasons. I will tell you, it's a hardship, on a personal level, but it's also very rewarding on a very personal level for me. Having to have an apartment and live there, I try and balance my time between my house with my wife and my apartment, but it sucks. I just don't have to listen to my wife snore every night. All right, let's see. So if I don't run again as a county commissioner, I will definitely run for a CDD board position. I did that for 7 years before moving over to the county. I enjoy serving the residents. I enjoy serving my neighbors. It's what I did for, oh my gosh, 20 years in the military. It's what I learned as a child. My dad was career Air Force. So serving my country, serving my fellow residents is important to me. I am looking up at the Jacksonville score. It's 7-41. Jacksonville has definitely won this game. There's only about a minute and a half left in the game. That's awesome. I know my wife is going to be ecstatic. We'll just see if they can make it through the playoffs without choking. I'm trying to be optimistic, but I've watched them fall on their sword so many times. Let's see. Talked about I-75. Logograph. Oh, Mushke says Logographics was the people who did their rap. Let's see. That's a drone swarm. I don't fly all the drones at once. Many of them are retired. You know, one of them. Maybe next week I'll bring them down. I have them up in a shelf in my studio here at the house. They're all up. Yeah, they're about 7 feet up in the air on a high shelf I put in. But I have 3 Phantom 4s I've got up there. What else is up there? Yeah, there's 3 Phantom 4s. I've got. Anyway, enough. Let's see. All right. Riddler bought a new car. Let's see. All right. New car. Yep. Yeah, just don't let your dog puke in the back seat. I mean, the good thing was I had seat covers on the back seat, so it just stunk a little bit, but I got it cleaned out. Let's see, Victoria, you guys can't see Victoria's comments. She sent me a donation. She says, thanks for putting these live shows together. After dealing with the rough stuff, start with your fur baby. They're very lucky to have you as a human dad. I'm the lucky one. Thanks for meeting Andrew and me. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I took him for a drive around and I gave him a sample of what Gold Wingnut Tours, which is almost ready to come off the ground. I've just been slow at getting it because I've been hammered with everything else from all sides. Let's see. Wildwood Mare. I will say this. VS, you are not the first person who has said something about that. I can't count on 2 hands the number of people who have made that same comment. Not at this time. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Love your thinking. We are the majority and had been too silent in the past. Well, you know, good thing is we have Commissioner Joe Elliott on the Wildwood County Commission. He lives over in Finney, I believe it is. One of those villages over in the Finney area. We'll have Marco Flores, who lives over in Middleton. He obviously, and then we have Dave. Dang, I forgot Dave's last name, but he just got appointed to the board. So there's 3 people on the board now that live within the village's communities. So that's a good thing, considering that 75% of the population of, or maybe 80% of the population of Wildwood is villages residents, and most of the money comes from the villages. Well, she stopped. All right. Thanks for the I-75 info. Okay. Yep. Let's see. Don't forget to hit like. Yeah, please hit like. Yeah, no, national politics. If you think Trump has a problem keeping his mouth shut, I'll probably be worse. I have a probably lower tolerance than he does. All right. So I got a question for y'all. You know, today is January 7th. Okay, or excuse me, January 4th. 6 months from today will be July 4th, and our country will be celebrating its independence for 250 years. Awesome. I can remember as a teenager living over in Carmarcel, Turkey, which is it's on the Sea of Mara Mara, which is the body of water between the Black Sea and the Mediterranean that is connected by the Bosphorus and Dardanelles. So much for geography. But I lived there in 1976, and we celebrated the bicentennial. So anybody got any great plans for the bicentennial? And the other question is, where were you living in 1776? I know some of us are old, but we're not that old. In 1976, you know, many of us were teenagers, and you know, it's honestly, I'm amazed that I made it this far. Looking back at my teenage years, I am surprised I made it past 18. I was not the sharpest tool in the shed. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, Craig says 250. I remember 76 like it was yesterday. Absolutely. Anyway, let's see. President. No, okay. I took your drone class, and the price of the DJI drone scared me off from buying one. Is there one less expensive that you can recommend? Yeah, you can go with one of the lower cost ones. The Mini 4K comes to mind. It's only a couple $100, as well as the Neo. You can get a Neo and fly it with a cell phone for about $200. A Neo is a little one. It's about this big, and it's got prop guards. It's a pretty cool little device. You know, so there are some lower end price ones, and you know, take a look. Go to DJI's website. You can also go to the DJI store on Amazon.com. So look up one of the DJI drones, and if you look to see who's selling it, and if it says the DJI store, click on that, and you'll see what you can get through Amazon that way. That's the easiest way. Baby Cooney says, I was born in 1976. Great. That just makes me feel old. I was a teenager in the Chicago suburbs. Wow. Okay. Teenager equals troublemaker. Yep. Also, Trump naturally uses next level persuasion techniques if one doesn't understand Trump. Read Win Bigly by Scott Adams. Ivanka Trump said she never understood her dad until he read the book. Okay, wow. And Rich says he was in the Army in 76. Yeah, my dad was career Air Force. There were a few Army people at the base that we were at, and some Navy people. The Navy people that were there were what was called a CT, or a cryptotech. Typically in the Navy, they're called spooks. They're the spies. And I can remember the guy who led our youth church group, Harry. Harry was a CT interpreter, and he spoke several languages. And sometimes Harry would be talking, and he would slip into a different language and not even realize it. And, you know, his wife, I think her name was Melanie, would have to tap him on the shoulder, and he'd oh, sorry, you know, change that. Yeah, that was a great time. Growing up overseas, best experience I ever had. Taught me a tremendous amount about having an open mind. Started with food, you know, walk into a restaurant, I learned quickly. Don't ask what's in it. Don't ask what it is. If it looks good, eat it. And it probably is good. So, yeah, it served me well over the years, too. 76, there was in Wilton, Connecticut. Okay. I have no idea where Wilton is. I lived in Connecticut for many years, though, thanks to the Navy base in Groton. Craig says, I should have been in jail so many times it wasn't funny. Fortunately, I was smart enough to not get caught, and didn't really harm anyone with my antics. We share some same background, yeah. Deb Jam says, I was 26, living and working in Boston. Neo 2 is awesome, love mine. I'm actually thinking about getting myself a Neo 2 just because my class starts up. I took the hiatus this semester, just trying to get caught up on a few things, and still not, but I'm trying. But I'm starting my class back up in April. I'll be teaching the phase step 1 and step 2 classes. The step 3 classes I've stopped teaching, but much of the information is being rolled into the step 2 class, which is I've added 2 hours of teaching onto it. But in the step 1 class, I talk about drone basics, the laws, what you can do with the drone, what you can't do with the drone, give people information about what's available on the market. And then the step 2 class, once you have a DJI drone, I teach you how to use the software to its full extent. And the explanation I like to use is we've pretty much all used Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel. And everybody knows every command in Microsoft Word, right? I mean, you can do anything you want with Microsoft Word. It's got so much power. And you can use all the commands, right? Everybody knows all that stuff. Of course not. I've been using Microsoft Word for 30 plus years, and I still don't know all the functions and features. The software, though, that we fly with is the same way. It's got hundreds of features in it. I know all the features. I've studied them. I have mastered them. So I can, I teach that. And I have many of the drones that I have so that I had the information I needed to teach that class. Anyway, but I'm looking forward to getting back in front of the people because I enjoy teaching. Enfield, Connecticut. I've been to Enfield. Let's see. Craig Sailor says, I was invited to a spook party in 1989, and that was the most uncomfortable I've been. Everybody there, yeah, he took his message away. Yeah. Everyone else there was beyond my intellectual level. Yeah. And of course, they were all CTs, cryptotechs, yeah. Very interesting group of people, very secretive world. Obviously, they're dealing with intelligence. Which village do you live in? Oh, okay, he's asking Riddler. In 22, living in New York was Patrina, and 16 in Palmdale, California was Mushki. And okay, great. So, interesting topic. But again, 250 years, I am looking forward to it. Hopefully, there'll be some sort of patriotic display, maybe over Central Lake. I don't know. We'll see what comes up. You know, I was talking about the watching the football game today. It made it difficult getting ready for the broadcast. Normally I spend that last hour or two deeply involved getting things ready to go. Instead I was watching the game. But if Jacksonville makes it to the Super Bowl party, I'm going to throw a Super Bowl party. So I figure I got about a 1 in 10 chance of throwing a Super Bowl party this year. I used to do them all the time, but we'll see. You know. And if I do a Super Bowl party, we probably won't have a broadcast that day. It depends. Maybe everybody in the party will be in the broadcast. We'll play it by ear and see what happens. But I will let you know as the weeks progress. You know, again, Jacksonville has got a not joke in the playoffs, like I've seen them before. Okay. Let's pray we don't end up like the Roman Empire. Okay. Land. All right. Yep. So, don't mind the heat. What else do I got here? So Super Bowl party. Yeah, that's going to be great. Those of you who don't live here yet, okay, and those of you that do, the news came out that the prevailing rate for amenities has gone up to $204 from $199. So it went up 2.5%. So what does that mean? It means that if you own a home, if you bought your home in 2025 or before, it means nothing to you. It does not impact your amenity fee. What impacts your amenity fee will be the CPI adjustment, Consumer Price Index adjustment, and it's based on the month that your house went to contract is when it will go up. And it's a 12-year moving average. Everybody's is a little bit different because of that 12-month moving average. If you haven't bought a house yet, then the prevailing rate is the rate you will buy or you will pay when you buy your home, okay? And then it goes up annually after that based on the CPI index. So it's not a big deal. It's actually, that's not true. It is a huge deal because it makes a big, big difference on the budgets for our amenities. You know, our amenities, the cost keeps going up and up and up. So they have to have some way of increasing the revenue. Now, the cost goes up for two reasons. One is organic growth, okay? Building new amenities, they cost more to operate, you know, what you call it? I'll get it out. Olympia Recreation Center just opened up. So there's an operating cost associated with that that's got to be paid. Fortunately, we've added new residents. So that organic growth pays for the new stuff. What's not paid for what's not taken into account is fuel prices increasing, grass seed increasing, fertilizer increasing, water prices, electricity, all the things that our amenity fees pay for, pickleballs and things like that, they go up. Now there's a CPI adjustment, and they use the Consumer Price Index, but it doesn't really match the realities. The CPI is looking at bread and peanut butter and stuff like that, and that's not what we're buying. So inevitably, each year, we get a little farther and farther behind. For the people that have been here, you're getting a good deal because you're not keeping up with the actual cost increases because the CPI doesn't always keep up. Having the deferral rate adjusted when a house sells. So when I sold my house last year, well, it was last year, wasn't it? Andy and Mandy, the new owners, they paid the prevailing rate of $199. That's what they paid. I don't remember what I was paying. I'd have to go look it back up to see what I was paying on my amenity fee back then. But whatever I was paying doesn't matter. They pay $199, and they're going to see the annual increases. They saw that they should see it this month based on the original contract date of the house. You know, unless you're buying a resale or buying a new house, it doesn't mean anything to you. Don't worry about it. Another thing I'd like to talk about real quick, property taxes. There's a lot of talk in the news about property taxes, making them go away, things like that. Folks, get involved. Make an informed decision for yourself, okay? Many people say, oh, they're too high, they're wasting money, blah, blah, blah. Starting this month, I believe it is, the county has their workshops. We start working on the budget for next year, this month. Please, if you have questions, look at the agenda, come and ask your questions. We want your input. We want you to make an informed decision. I will tell you that having been involved with this budget for many years now, not just, I was looking at it before I became a county commissioner, but, you know, I understand it even better now, better as chairman. There is very little waste, and our property tax rate in Sumter County for the county property tax is extremely low. there are some online discussions going on that just absolutely amaze me when I read them at the level of ignorance and arrogance of some of these comments that are made that have no clue what is going on. I will tell you that if they were to eliminate property tax on homesteaded properties, it would be a death blow to every county in the state, and it would have a terrible impact on the economy of the state of Florida. But hey, somebody would have a legacy item in their portfolio that, hey, I got rid of property taxes. Anyway, enough of that. Let's see. September, okay. I've got to look back here. I can see farther back on my screen than you guys can. You came from Seattle, right? So Craig the Sailor is asking Mushki. You came from Seattle, right? We know why you like summers there. Okay. Lazy Days RV business just disappeared this week. Do you know what's going to happen to that property? No idea. No idea what's going to happen. Muskie says she lived in Seattle and Edmonds for 16 years and never saw the sun. Okay. Tammy says the house across from me for sale dropped $45,000 since it went on the market in September here in Moultrie Creek. Yeah, in Moultrie, Moultrie Creek is at that point where many of the houses are at the 1 year point or just beyond, and people are trying to flip them and sell them. Some expectations are out of line with reality. Some of them I've seen go for sale. My mind is boggled. $1 million for a house that was a year earlier paid half that much for it. Unbelievable. Weather here today. Mushy says the weather here today reminds me of Seattle area. Yeah, okay. Abolishing property tax means abolishing local control over how and where money is spent. It will bankrupt counties, cities, and will destroy reliably essential services. I agree. Craig says, we bought our home in Hammock at Finney, and it started out at $449. We purchased it for $429. We definitely can see that happening. We have been watching a lot of homes. Yeah, I mean, my house that I sold last year, I foolishly drug my feet, didn't get it on the market at the right time, got it on the market at the wrong time, and I ended up cutting the price $100,000 over the course of 8 months. All right. Yeah, it says for sale for a long time. Yeah, if it's on the market a long time, it's going to definitely hurt when it sells. Yep, a lot are dropping prices. They keep building so many new builds, it's hard to compete. What I see is the resale market, the volume keeps getting bigger. If you look, about 1% of the homes are on the market for resales, which means as the Villages continues to grow, every 1,000 homes that they build, that puts effectively 10 new homes on the resale market. But if your customer base, which has been relatively constant for the last 20 years, if the size of your customer base doesn't increase, makes it much more competitive on the resales. The new homes, they're still selling quite well. Let's see. I heard today that the Villages built more homes in 25 than they ever have. I don't know. I have not seen the numbers yet. I know that we were processing as a county record numbers of permits for new homes this past year. I don't know what the exact number is, but I am looking forward to seeing it. It will probably be in excess of 4,000 homes, though. John says, so we should send you a picture of us with our dog and a description? Yes. You can send it to, the phone number will come up on the screen in just a second. There it is, there's the phone number. 352-661-6175. You can text it to that number, the picture, the video, the information. That'll be great. Or you can send it to live@goldwingnut.com or Dawn@goldwingnut.com or info@goldwingnut.com. I got a bunch of different email addresses on my account. So anyway, send them that. We'll compile them. We'll try and get a nice video together for next week. Let's see. What's going to be built at the corner of Warm Springs and Megacin Road? There's a roundabout there also. Warm Springs and Megacin. The corner of, I'm trying to get my bearings. Warm Springs and Megacin. Okay. That is scheduled to be, so what I'm assuming you're talking about, what corner would that be? That would be the northeast corner, okay? The northeast corner where Hope Lutheran Church is going in there, and also the rest of the property is scheduled for commercial development. Right now, obviously, their focus on commercial development is Middleton and Eastport. And Eastport, you know, it seems like every 2 to 3 weeks, they're announcing a new business coming there. That's called keeping the information stream alive, okay? I forgot the other name for it. But basically, they keep the enthusiasm going by making little announcements every couple of weeks. They've known, it's not like they're just, oh, they just happened this week. No, these negotiations take weeks, sometimes months, between the time that a business decides to go in and they actually announce it. But looking at the buildings, what I see is probably half the buildings are sold for occupancy, just based on some visual clues I've seen looking in the buildings and walking down the streets. Let's see, any word on the grocery store in Eastport? No. Man, that information stream is it's pretty dry and barren at this point. It's, you know, I mean, obviously there's still the construction trailers in there and it's still a laydown yard, but they've cleaned it up. You know, I suspect in the next couple of months we'll start hearing some more, just because it's an important thing. You know, Publix, they have not started the foundation work yet. They have put in some of the undergrounds. The parking lot has been poured. That's in the video that hopefully this afternoon I'll get finished up with doing the new voiceover, because I'm still not sure what the heck happened with that. But it ruined all the audio footage in it, so I had to redo everything. And no idea what's going in the old theater in Brownwood. None whatsoever. That's going to be a unique property to try and fill. Think about the pure size of it. It's, you know, it's sad that the movie industry has gone where it has, but times change. You know, the streaming stuff. I'll be honest with you. When they started talking about streaming videos, I thought there is no way the internet can handle live streaming TV and all that. And now my apartment, I have I think it's a 40 megabit connection, and the house has a gigabit connection, both upstream and downstream on it, and it's just it is phenomenal the amount of bandwidth that they have available to them now. Let's see. I think with Middleton having a Publix, yeah, Middleton is getting a Publix, so I don't. Yeah, and Eastport will not get a Publix. You're right. It's not going to get a Publix. That much I do know. But you know, there is a short list, and that's all I'm at liberty to say at this point. All right. So, somebody asked a question a couple of weeks ago about the villagers buying T&D. So I did some research on that. I checked Sunbiz, which is where all the corporations, including my corporation, my 501c3, we're all registered through Sunbiz. Where else did I check? I checked Corporation Wiki and a couple others. There is no indication that the developer has bought T&D. That is not reflected in the public records. Now, could they have bought it this week? Yeah, sure. Okay, and it'll take a while for catching up on public records, but the public records are only a couple of months old, and there's no indication that the developer has bought that. What else? Let's see. Yeah, again, okay. What else did I have here on my list? I always try and type up a list of topics just in case, and other things I want to cover. You know, there's still a lot of squawking about Walmart, and you know, not being golf cart accessible. Well, it's just not going to be. All right. A, there's no place to put it. B, the cost of putting in golf cart accessibility, that would fall to Walmart, and honestly, the return on investment just wouldn't be there. It's just not worth it. So I don't see golf cart accessibility coming anytime soon. In theory, it could come, okay? And the place where it could come is where the greenhouses are, and that area moving towards the turnpike. I don't know, is it south, north? I don't remember. It's hard to keep track of which direction is which. That's owned by the developer. It's all zoned commercial. So in theory, they could build more commercial real estate there and possibly figure out a way to bring in traffic, which would be good for everyone, I guess. But that's probably so far down the line, it's not even really a valid discussion at this point. Somewhere in the sun. So where do you find out internet fiber providers for each village or area? Good question. There's several websites that you can go to about that. Speedtest.net, I think, is one of them that you can do some searches through. Pretty much, though, everything south of 466A, my understanding is, has fiber optics to them. You know, my old house had fiber optics. My apartment, it doesn't have fiber optics. In fact, I was really frustrated with the internet services that I got. I ended up just canceling Spectrum and just using what was provided by the complex. It just didn't make any sense to pay extra for basically nothing. But pretty much everything south of 466A, my understanding, has fiber optics. It's not hooked up. Centrix, who has most of the area in CDD, I think they have all the area in CDD 15. They install a fiber optic modem and wireless access point above the kitchen cabinets in every new house. So it's already hooked up. Myself, I disconnected their fiber optic modem and put my own, I disconnected their wireless access point and put my own network switch in and wireless access point because I wanted to be in control of security, not them. You know, make sure that your equipment is up to date because A, it becomes very vulnerable to attack if it's not up to date, but also with gigabit bandwidth, you definitely, to get full use of it, you're going to need up-to-date equipment. All right. Let's see. Caveman says, maybe Florida could solve the property tax issue by charging residents from blue states that are moving to Florida an impact fee. $150K should do it. That's a short-term solution. Interesting, but but a short-term solution. And, you know, is that really fair? Probably not. You know, by the same token, you know, if you were to do that, then you'd have to charge people $50,000 every time they had a child because of the impact that that's having. So we could take it that way, but you know, honestly, our property taxes in Florida aren't that bad. I'm confused on our school taxes and why they are the rates that they are, especially in Sumter County, when 90% of the people here do not have children that go to school. They're not impacting the school system. Well, it's a senior citizens community. There you go. That represents 80% of the population of Sumter County. Yeah, California is charging an exit tax. You know what? That's probably not a bad thing to pay them just to get away from California. I've heard some stories about California, how they have clawback taxes. If you sell your house there and buy a new house here in Florida, and then sell your house and make a profit, they want to tax some of it. Yeah, we don't need blue state mentality here. Okay, Mark says we have fiber north of 466 in Seabreeze from Quantum. Also, Xfinity offers gig service. Coax, though. Okay, interesting. Okay, yeah, I wasn't aware that there's fiber north of 466. I knew it was south of 466, but yeah. Yep, everybody, remember, send me the dog pics. We're going to have a nice video for next week. It is, holy mackerel, it's getting late. I've got salmon to cook on the grill this evening, and I am looking forward to it. I love salmon on the grill. I think we've talked about everything on my list, except for the Brownwood entry, but we're not going to talk about that one, because it's not really a big issue. All right, everyone, I hope you've had a great new year. I know I'm looking forward to the new year. Take care. You know, as always, you know, life is short, power is fleeting, physical beauty lasts only a short time. All those who live long enough will also become weak and very vulnerable at some point. So let us be humble, help the sick, help the weak, help the vulnerable, because one day we too will exit the stage. And so let us do it with humility, dignity, honor, and the knowledge that through our actions we have left this world a much better place. I'm Don Wiley. Have a great day. Stick around. There's a couple of funny videos coming up at the end. And I'm out of here. Thanks for watching today's broadcast of Gold Wingnut Live. These weekly broadcasts and the construction update videos are two of the ways I bring information to you about the construction happening here in the villages. At Gold Wingnut Productions, I also provide a photo-video service for new homes under construction. If you're building a new home in the villages and you need someone to watch the construction for you and send you regular updates, then contact me through my website, goldwingnut.com, and arrange for a photo-video package of your new home. I've nearly 20 years in the construction industry as a project manager, and in the last 6 years, Gold Wingnut Productions has provided this valuable service to over 300 homeowners. I know the work the various trades are doing, and I know when the work is being done right and when it's not. I'm not just taking pictures like some do. I'm watching your new home build with a trained eye to help ensure everything is done right. So go to goldwingnut.com and arrange for your package today. And I'll see you next week right here at Gold Wingnut Live.
How do you want to be remembered after death? My granddad used to always tell me that the best way to never be forgotten after you die is to borrow money from everyone you know.
During my job interview yesterday, the interviewer asked, "Why should I hire you?" I said, "Because my buddy Johnny works here, and he said you're having an affair with your secretary." Gentlemen, want to make your lady feel special? Place her picture in the kitchen and write Employee of the Month. She'll love it.
My life hasn't been the same since my accident.
What accident?
The one where I got my finger stuck in that wedding ring.
My son got detention again at school today, and a teacher pointed a ruler at him and said, "At the end of this ruler is an idiot." All he said was, "Which end?"
My wife isn't talking to me today because yesterday I promised to only have 2 beers and be home by 10. I always end up mixing those 2 things up.
My wife told me to go and get some pills that help with improving performance in bed. You should have seen her face when I tossed her some diet pills.
Dogs love sleeping in their owner's bed for 3 powerful reasons, and the last one says everything about your relationship. First, to your dog, you're not just a human. You're their safe place, their family, their whole world. Sleeping close to you gives them a deep sense of security. It's their way of saying, "I love you, and I trust you completely." Second, dogs adore warmth. Your bed already cozy and warmed by their favorite person. To them, you're like a living blanket, comforting, soothing, and impossible to resist. And the third reason goes even further. Dogs have a natural instinct to protect their group. Even while sleeping, they stay slightly alert. By sleeping beside you, they feel like they're watching over you just as you watch over them. A dog will never sleep somewhere they don't feel safe. So if he chooses your bed or even uses your arm as a pillow that's not random, it's a sign of absolute trust. Does your dog sleep with you too?